If you're in debt and feel super pressured to pay off your debt as soon as possible, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you why you don't need to feel all of that pressure to pay off your loans as soon as you can. And I mean, is all of that anxiety even worth it? No, the answer is no. And to prove it to you, in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how debt works, why trying to pay off your loans super fast is dumb, and what you can do with your extra money instead that will make you a lot more money. I mean, you're here because you want to make money, right? So if you're going to take the safe, easy, pay off my debt and become debt-free route, then I mean, do you even want it that bad? What is up, future rich bitches? Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who are new here, I am Madeline, and at this channel, I post videos every Saturday that give women the tools that they need to start investing, building wealth, and becoming rich bitches. So if that's something that you are interested in, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I mean, let's get into it. Okay, so first let's talk a little bit about how debt works. So debt is a financial tool that you can use to buy something that you can't actually afford. Yes, you heard that right. You can't actually afford the things that you're using debt to buy, even though you can afford the payments. Whether it's a house, university tuition, a car, whatever, the fact of the matter is that you don't have enough cash on hand to actually buy that purchase outright. So to make up for the difference between what the price of whatever it is you're buying is and the actual cash you have on hand, you take out a loan. This is typically done by asking someone who has enough cash on hand if they will lend you the money. And this is usually a bank. The bank isn't just going to give you their money for free though. I mean, they also want something out of the deal. So they charge you an additional fee in the form of interest. And this is typically like a percentage that's applied on top of your principal or the amount that you borrowed and is charged at regular intervals, typically monthly. So the longer it takes you to pay back your loan, the more you'll end up paying in interest, which is typically why people tend to prioritize trying to pay back their loan faster so that they can save a little bit of money on this additional interest charge. But there is a giant problem with this. The problem is the opportunity cost of paying off your debt. So when you put your extra money toward paying off your debt quickly, then you're foregoing the opportunity of using that extra money to invest. And when you're evaluating two opportunities, you always want to pick the one that's going to make you more money, and it's almost always investing. So before I break down for you how much money you're actually losing by putting your extra money to paying off your debt as opposed to investing it, I do want to say that there is one exception to this rule, and that is credit card debt. So credit card companies charge enormously high rates for you to hold a balance on your credit card. I mean, some of them even charge more than Warren Buffett makes in the stock market, and he is one of the highest earning investors. So it's really bad. So if you are in credit card debt, it's much better for you to take your extra cash and try to pay that off as quickly as possible before you start to invest, and then go back and take the rest of my advice. Okay, so back to evaluating how much you're actually losing by putting your extra money toward paying off your debt as opposed to investing. So let's say you take out a loan for a new house and it is $250,000 at a 3.5% interest rate, which is about average, and a 30-year mortgage, again, very typical. So you take this loan out and you decide to put an extra $100 a month toward paying off your mortgage faster. So by the time your mortgage is paid off, you will have saved $24,000 and shaved 4 years off of your loan, which might seem great, but it's really not that much, especially when you think about that you saved this $24,000 over a 26-year period, which means you were saving less than $1,000 a year by putting this extra $100 toward your mortgage. But $24,000 is still pretty good, right? Well, not when you look at what you could have made if you had invested that $100 a month instead. So let's assume that you received a 10% annual return, which is about typical for the S&P 500. And you invested this money for the 26 years that you would have been paying off this loan. After those 26 years, you would have $131,000. That's $111,000 more than you would have saved by using this $100 to pay off your loan faster. On top of that, since your loan will take you the full 30 years to pay off using this strategy, if you continue investing that $100 a month for 30 years, you'll have over $197,000 at the end of the 30 years, which is an incredibly better position to be in than it would be to save the $24,000. So you might be thinking, okay, but if I put way more than $100 a month toward my mortgage, then I'll save way more money, right? And the answer is yes. So let's say instead of $100, you decide to throw an extra $1,000 at that mortgage payment. So this will shorten your mortgage payback by 17 years, which is incredible. That's more than half. And you'll end up saving over $100,000 on interest. But still, investing is going to be the better option. So let's say instead you had invested that $1,000 for the 13 years that you were paying off your mortgage, and you would still have significantly more money. $300,000, so $200,000 more than you would have saved by paying off your mortgage. And to top it off, again, your mortgage is going to take you the full 30 years to pay off if you're not throwing that extra $1,000 at it. So if you invest $1,000 a month for 30 years at a 10% return, you are going to have $1.9 million. So which would you rather have? $24,000 or $197,000? $100,000 or $1.9 million? And that, my friends, is why putting your extra money toward paying off your debt as fast as you can is dumb. Okay, so I hope I've thoroughly convinced you that you don't need to feel this pressure about paying off your debt as soon as you can anymore, and that investing is obviously the much better option. But how do you go about doing that? So my absolute favorite way is to invest in the stock market. And that's because over time, the market has always gone up. So it's not too risky. You do always have to remember that any money that you invest can go away in the blink of an eye. So you do have to be comfortable with the fact that you could lose money. But typically over time, the stock market has always gone up. So it's still a pretty good gig. And another thing that I really love about it is that contrary to popular belief, it's super simple to invest in the stock market, and you can do it so that it requires almost none of your time and effort. So if you want to learn how you can do this and become a super lazy investor, check out this video that I've done on how to start investing. And I will also put a link in the description to my blog post that I did on it. So there you have it. It's time to stop falling for all of that debt freedom advice because it's dumb and it's not building your wealth. Instead, you need to take that money and start investing, because the earlier you start investing, the more money you can make. And if you want to build your wealth to the tune of hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars and become a rich bitch, or even just simply retire one day, you're going to have to start investing. So go lower those debt payments to their minimums, unless you have credit card debt, not that one. Lower all the rest to their minimums and put the difference into an investment account so you can be on your path to becoming a rich bitch. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you're looking for more tips on how you can start investing, building wealth, and become a rich bitch, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure to like this video if it helped you out and relieved some of your debt stress, because I want to be a rich bitch just as much as you, and it helps me with the algorithm. So I'll see you guys soon.